Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I continue to stand by this statement and I will continue to make this point pretty much until things change or until I'm 6 feet under. These Democrat actors, these shills, these leftoids, whatever the hell you want to call them, they're just objectively terrible people. You know how I know they're dishonest and fake? Because it's so easy to predict them. It's so easy to tell what they're going to do, what they're going to say, what kind of narrative they're going to spin up this time and this week. If you're always playing the same dishonest games and you're predictable, it means there's a pattern of behavior. You're just objectively a bad person. If somebody keeps betraying your trust, keeps stealing things behind your back, and no matter how many times they're caught, they keep doing the same thing, or it's such a consistent pattern of behavior that at this point you just kind of know it's going to happen, that's a bad person that you're probably not going to associate with. That's how I feel about Democrats when it comes to the deception, when it comes to the lies, the propaganda, the narrative pushing above facts. And on this E. Jean Carroll situation, we could see them coming from a mile away. None of it is surprising anymore. We knew exactly what they were trying to do. I want to get into their dishonest tactics. The newest talking point, of course. As we know with these Democrats, it's all about framing, narratives, and most specifically, labels. Oh boy, do these dishonest Dems love their little labels. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so we know how the Trump derangement syndrome crew operate. They love to go after Donald Trump saying he's a twice impeached single-term president. Well, they just want to keep adding on to that. They're newest to the list. He's a convicted abuser. Take a look at what Representative Eric Swalwell wrote on Twitter. Donald Trump has been convicted of sexual assault, and Kevin McCarthy is all in with his abusive pal. First of all, this is total misinformation. Again, the beauty of Twitter community notes. Trump was found civilly liable on some of the claims brought against him in a civil lawsuit. A defendant of a civil liability is either liable or not liable. Trump was not charged with or convicted of a crime. So this is, of course, misinformation, but this is what these dishonest Democrats are going with. Here's a tweet or a statement that didn't get fact-checked by community notes, but I'd say is even worse. We've got No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. This guy loves to portray himself as a real, honest political analyst. I mean, his segment is literally called No Lie, as he literally lies. The leader of the Republican Party is a proven abuser. And like I often ask myself in similar situations, how are these people able to say this stuff? How is it that you can sleep at night after tweeting something like this? The leader of the Republican Party is a proven sexual abuser. Proven how exactly? You know, making a statement like that, you better bring some evidence. But no, of course not. They're just taking the result of the jury decision and using that in a way to manipulate viewers, listeners, and readers into thinking that it was proven. Nothing was proven. Show me proof. I mean, just in the clip from yesterday, when ABC was doing their update and their presentation, giving the basic facts of the case and the decision, you could tell how laughable the jury decision really was.
Trump did defame Carroll in the form of a social media statement from October of 2022 in which he said that Carroll was not his type, in which he called her claim a hoax and a con job. And for that, the jury awarded another $2 million in compensatory damages, all told.
Donald Trump had to pay E. Jean Carroll $2 million for, quote, defaming her because he said, I don't know this woman and she's not my type. Apparently denying allegations from 30 years ago with zero proof, saying, I don't know who the woman is and she clearly isn't my type. Apparently that is rock solid defamation. In what freaking universe? And on the issue of assault, there is no proof. There was just a book written by a woman, perfectly timed after the Me Too era, and a specific law was changed in New York which allowed her to bring a case. The woman in this case, E. Jean Carroll, has been all over the freaking place in her story. I mean, here's a little supercut of her media appearances.
Charge against Donald Trump for this? Why not?
I would find it disrespectful to the women who are down on the border, who are being around the clock down there. But for the women down there, and for the women actually around the world, on the counter were these fancy lingerie boxes that they used to have back in the 90s. Yeah. You wore lingerie in the 90s, I'll bet, Joy. Well, he didn't suggest it. He shouted it. He shouted lingerie. Lingerie. He may have shouted underwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you scared? Were you
angry? I was too panicked to be scared. I had the idea that I'm going to make him put it on over his pants. That was my idea.
A real credible witness said literally nobody with 2 working brain cells. Nothing has been proven. The decision was clearly made by a biased New York City jury. Simply, Donald Trump can't prove a negative. He can't prove that he didn't do it. Of course, on the other end, E. Jean Carroll can't prove that he did. The case is bogus. Everybody knows it. Yet the Democrats still will twist their narrative because that's just what they do. They don't care about being accurate. They don't care about being fair. They care simply about one thing, and that's attacking Donald Trump. Well, like usual, folks, I think it's going to backfire. You know, they think that their labels carry a lot of weight, and with a certain audience, they do. When they say stuff like, oh, he's a proven abuser in court, some people are simply going to fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. They're going to believe it. They're going to parrot the talking point, blah, blah, blah. Other people are going to take a step back and say, wait a minute, question everything, and investigate. And that, my friends, is how you go down the rabbit hole. That's how you ingest the red pill. I think this is going to backfire like the rest of them. Just like the bogus Alvin Bragg indictment, once again in New York City, Democrats immediately celebrating, Donald Trump has been indicted, he's done, orange jumpsuit, orange man. Well, it only served to make him more popular. I think that's most likely going to be the scenario here, or it's going to have little to no impact at all. Nobody takes these court cases or these indictments seriously anymore because the Democrats have cried wolf one too many times. Yeah, sure, Donald Trump's guilty. Yeah, we get it. Democrats have become just a rambling homeless person on public transportation, going on and on about their conspiracy theories about how Donald Trump's a criminal. And most people are simply looking away, telling their kids, look away, son, that person's unwell. I think that pretty much sums it up at this point. Not to mention the hypocrisy, and boy, I wish there was more emphasis on the hypocrisy. For some reason, the media keeps talking about E. Jean Carroll. They're bringing her on for segments so she could do her victory tour. It's the happiest day of her life, except for moments where she kind of exposes the entire thing while doing her media tour on CNN.
Another thing that he and his lawyers have often spoken about is the lack of disclosure about a big Democratic donor funding part of this case. Was there a reason it wasn't disclosed, and did you view this as political in any way?
No, I just completely forgot that he even existed.
In your deposition?
Yes, in my deposition.
Oh, she just completely forgot to disclose the fact that she was being funded by a Democrat mega donor. Nothing to see here, folks. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. The media keeps talking about E. Jean Carroll, but isn't it so funny how there's such an emphasis on this woman and her totally not so credible allegations, lawsuit, and accusations, but Tara Reade with her actual credible allegation was simply ignored and forgotten, and in some cases, purposely censored. Really makes you think now, doesn't it? Yes, Joe Biden voters, Donald Trump is the predator. It's been proven in court. Definitely don't Google Tara Reade's name. No, of course, don't do that. Just keep watching those Harry Sisson TikTok videos.
So Donald Trump has been found guilty and liable in a court of law for abusing a woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll, as you can see in the photo above. The jury also awarded her $5 million in damages. It's a great day for America, and it's a great day for justice. But for the Trump supporters, I gotta know, how are you going to continue to support this guy? How can you consciously support someone who's been found liable for abuse? I think a lot of Republicans have to ask themselves that question right now. And for the ones who continue to support Donald Trump, all I'm going to say is, wow, it says a lot about your character.
He has been found guilty and liable. It's a great day for justice in America, Harry Sisson says. Is it really? Yeah, partisan jury decisions. Finding someone liable with literally zero evidence is a great day for justice, says the prepubescent 12-year-old political genius. How could you possibly support Donald Trump? It says a lot about you. Does it really? Yeah, I think it speaks to most Trump supporters' characters in a positive way, that they're able to look beyond the headline and actually pay attention to the details and understand how totally corrupt and politicized the legal process has become under you Democrats in places like New York City, coming from these same Democrats who literally ignored Tara Reade, who doubted her and wrote hit pieces on her for a credible allegation with actual documented evidence targeting Joe Biden. The lengths that you Democrat shills are willing to go to just to take down Donald Trump, whether it's ignoring someone like Tara Reade or politicizing and corrupting the justice system, I think that tells a lot about you. Anyways, nothing new. These Democrat shills are just the worst. From lying about the Jordan Neely situation last week to now this, it's a never-ending cycle of dishonesty and immorality. Just another day on Twitter. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.